Esports.
And I'm Joe Muditone.
And we'll be casting the second game. And in the first game, we definitely saw a really dominant performance from the Utah Utes. You know, it was a 2-0 set. I don't think they even dropped a match.
No, we had a full hold on Eichenwald, and yeah, we 2-0'd them on a capture the point.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to come into this next game against UC Santa Barbara. I think it'll be probably a little bit more of a competitive game.
Yeah, definitely. It's them coming from the Western region and them having an 8-2 record as well as us. Definitely going to be something, I believe, a little bit tougher than the U-Texas game.
Definitely. So with the UC Santa Barbara, you mentioned that they're coming from the West region, and here we have the players. So we'll have Flame Turtle and Daddy J on the DPS roles. Tetrum and Dog are going to be our tanks, and then CX Dave and Kian are going to be our supports. And then on UCSB, it looks like we've got Nameless Hops and Cowparts as, probably it's Cowfarts, but I really just didn't want to say it. It's Cowparts on DPS. One of those is most likely going to be supporting. And then we've got Jalaxed and Pandomega on tank, and then Mr. Goodham. What a good ham supporting his team.
Yeah, I think some of the players that we're definitely going to want to look out for is going to be Jalaxed. He is a almost a 4.4K player. Definitely something not to joke around. When you get up to those higher 4K MMR levels, that's when you're in almost like that professional level of gameplay.
Yeah, their game quality is definitely just kind of no messing around. You know, they're there to really try and improve their skills, get better strategies. In around 4K, there's a little bit of some memeing.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, so moving on, Jalax looks like he got there playing Junkrat, but once again, Junkrat's super strong, and like you were saying, if you get to 4.4K, even if you're playing Junkrat, you're still a really good player.
Yeah, the majority of this team, we do not have the MMR of Hops, but everyone else except for Cowparts is going to be a 4K player, and that's nothing to joke around with. Coming from our team, University of Utah, we were not 4K players at the beginning of the season. Only through the time, we definitely increased our MMR. I think we should just shout out, though, the Hearthstone team.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty insane. So, University of Utah Esports Hearthstone, we have two teams, A and B. Both of them are 3-0 right now, and we actually just crushed our rivals, BYU,
Yes,
3-0
definitely.
as well. So that's really awesome. They have 0 losses, and they have 3 more rounds to go throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how far they go. This is the national tournament, and if they get further, I hope our Overwatch team gets that far, but it looks like we are going to be getting into the game very shortly.
Looks like they're going to be playing their first round on Volskaya, and what defense do you expect from either team?
Definitely. As we saw against U-Texas, it might be that Torbarissa strategy. If we have the Torbarissa on that right side of the point on defense, it's something you have to be very careful about defending. And it does look like University of Utah might be running that strategy. And it looks like also Cowparts is going to be on that Orisa too. That's definitely going to be something we got to be careful about, as they're going to be pushing into the left side of the point. No one's getting picked yet. It's just going to be a slow-paced game. And it looks like they're going to want to get to the high ground. With the Orisa shield, it's going to be really hard to pressure it. And the only people that could really dive that is Dog on the Diva. Other than that, we have no really mobility on that upper ground.
So Utah gets some 2 incredible picks really quick, and even though their Mercy was able to rest the soldier, they're still down 1 player with that Orisa. And without that Orisa shield to kind of allow them to peek out and shoot, that's going to be a really hard thing for UC Santa Barbara to overcome.
Yeah, definitely. We see that Kian was picked off by the Junkrat mine, but we got quick res on it, and definitely Kian, someone we're gonna want to look out for. He is our pocket soldier player. Sometimes he plays Lucio mainly, but when we need him to have these like pinch points, he definitely pulls out with those really dank attack visors.
I think something to note for sure is that Utah is actually only running 1 support. They've got Dave on Mercy, and with that res, you know, that's not that big of a deal because you do have that res, but if that's down, it's going to be a big problem. And they got to really make sure this is protect Dave, or else they're not going to have any defense.
Definitely, and it looks like we do have a Molten Core coming out from Flame, and it looks like it is popping off. Soldier is going to get a 2-man kill with the res. With attack visor, we get a double res coming out of Mercy. Kian's still popping off. He's still alive. No one's dealing with him. Flame Turtle comes down, but the turret is still alive under the Orisa shield. It's a brawl. This on the upper ground. We get Dog on the low ground. Maybe going to dive up top there.
CX Dave just barely got his Valkyrie. We'll see if Utah has to use that to hold off. But it looks like they were able to kind of force UC Santa Barbara to back off just a little bit, get a little bit of premium. We do see CX Dave pop that Valkyrie. He's getting that chain healing going on. And they were able to kill Bouncy Bear. He's coming back right now.
Definitely, this is going to be a very scrappy fight with that.
Crazy tire coming out of the Junkrat. He's really looking for that Mercy, and it gets taken out.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to get those kills with that turret. It looks like we are going to still see them man up in this back line. No one's contesting it. They tried going on that back line right there, but Kian was just really protecting it, especially with that tac visor. Let's see if they try to change up the strategy. It looks like they're going to be approaching from the behind the shield this time.
It looks like UC Santa Barbara is going to have an ult advantage moving forward. They've got 2 ults right now. We'll see if they use that tac visor. Right now it's just kind of a standoff. Both teams just spamming the shields, waiting. I think that Utah, the shield spam has an advantage with that Torb. And then it looks like they're going down to the bottom just to get on point because they realize, you know, eventually they have to pressure the point. We see the sound barrier come out from UC Santa Barbara. And it looks like the Jalax is just really trying to kill that turret, but the Molten Core, it takes him out. And the huge kills coming out from UC Santa Barbara. CX looks like he doesn't have that Valkyrie, so he has to choose. He actually res Dog, which he res the baby Diva. It's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, definitely perfect execution coming out from UC Santa Barbara. You could see how they just built up all the ulti economy with a couple of junk pushes in the beginning of the game, but when they had to get the push in, they had the Diva Bomb go in, and that really did work on that turret. We saw Junka trying to kill that turret, but it was not working out. With that Molten Core up, it has 800 health, and it is also dealing an incredible amount of DPS. Nothing to joke around with. Let's see how this is going to work out on the second point. They are going to switch. University of Utah is going to switch off the Orisa and the Torb, as it is not that good on the second point. It looks like we're just going to run the usual Winston, Tetram on Winston, and then Dog on Diva.
And Flame Turtle is switching to Farah. How do you feel about that change? Probably allows them to get some better spam.
Yes.
Safely from the back line. We see Daddy J on Tracer really just trying to annoy them.
Yeah.
Watch the flames.
Oh, huge bomb.
Huge kills with his big tire right there. Tetram also gets taken out. Dog able to finally take down Jalax, but he's just going to get res right back up. CX Dave has his Valkyrie for when Utah really needs it, but for right now they're contesting. Looks like they're probably just going to wait for some spawns. He does use the Valkyrie, gets Kian back up, gets Dog back up, and then gets taken out himself.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit more of stall. We have a Diva Bomb not even available, and this is going to be a huge issue for Utah. It looks like it might be Santa Barbara's point unless we get some very lucky ultis or just picks on our side going for it, but it looks like it's going to be UC Santa Barbara's point.
That was a really quick second point by UC Santa Barbara.
Very dominating performance. This is definitely going to be the penultimate of the West region. You see UC Santa Barbara, their ulti economy is going to be way better than U-Texas. Using that ultis to get the Orisa Torb on that first point, that's really the only way to deal with this, and they executed it very well.
Yeah, they did. They were really good at being patient and then diving the turret when they really needed to. You know, we saw that Molten Core still take out Jalax, but it didn't matter because they were able to keep the fight going on so long that they were able to pretty much just out-sustain the Molten Core. And which is pretty rare. That's a 10-second ultimate.
Yeah, definitely. It's with Molten Core, it's easier. You're gonna have to commit all of your ultis for it, or just back out. It's almost like Transcendence. But let's see what University of Utah is gonna do on that attacking end. Let's see if they can live up to it. I think they might have capped it. Let's see. They capped it up at 3 minutes and 18 seconds, which is a very impressive time. Definitely something that's gonna be hard to beat.
So we see that University of Utah is running a dive with static supports.
Yes.
And then we see UC Santa Barbara is going to be running the Orisa, but not the Torbjorn. They're opting to stick with that Junkrat.
Yeah, with the Orisa Torb, it does take a lot of practice to get really used to this style of gameplay, because you are usually only running one support because Soldier, Kitselfiel, and the Orisa and the Torb aren't really going to be taking too much damage behind that shield. But this definitely should be an interesting show-up. As you said, we do have that double static support in the University of Utah side. UC Santa Barbara is still sticking with that Orisa. We don't really have too much spam to be dealing with this. We're going to have to really play around that shield. The shield is going to do a lot of... it's going to be blocking a lot of damage.
Yeah, so do you think Utah should run left, go high ground, kind of do that slow push that we saw UC Santa Barbara do, or do you think they should just go all out?
I really think that it depends on what mentality they're in right now. When they're doing that full dive, you have to commit to that dive. You can't just go. You can't just do half of it. You have to go all the way in.
I mean, it looks like Utah was wise to Jalax's tricks, but Jalax's still getting quite a lot of spam on. He's already at 50% ult economy. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be going that dive comp. Daddy J is on that pressuring that backside with Tetram going to be on the high ground, trying to get a little bit of pressure on that shield, but they are really hiding behind the shield. We can't really be doing much behind them. We can't be doing a lot of damage. They're just not coming through.
They did take over high ground. UC Santa Barbara is on the bottom, but Kian gets picked up, and that's gonna be a really killer pick on Utah's side. CX Dave having to use that res pretty early, and Tetram goes down. And
definitely, and Deep is out of mech. Both of our tanks are going down, and we hear Junkrat ultimate coming off.
That Junkrat's higher just really
finishes
finishes off the rest of the fight. Like we were talking about earlier, you know, he got that spam out so early at the beginning. We really saw Utah take a lot of damage there, and he had 50% ult by the time that fight started. So with such a crazy fight like that, where they were just going to be spamming each other out, Junkrat's going to win.
Yeah, it did look like Utah got wiped there, but in reality, we are building our ulti charge. It looks like Daddy J does have that pulse bomb, and we are close to Valkyrie. Two ultimates we do see a lot out, and it can change the tide of the fight. But they also, on the side of UC Santa Barbara, they're going to have their Valkyrie too. The ulti economy is about even right now. It's going to be a very interesting, even fight. And it looks like Tetram is going to be diving the high ground onto the Soldier. He's getting a little low. And Soldier's getting healed back up by that Mercy.
Right now we see Daddy J trying to, annoy the backline. And Flame Turtle gets picked by Jalaxed on that Junkrat. CX Dave having to use that ult. And he pops the Valkyrie as well to get the res on Tetram as well.
Huge.
What a big pulse bomb coming out, forcing Santa Barbara's Mercy to also ult and use their Valkyrie. It looks like this is a pretty scrappy fight so far, but Kian just has that transcendence. So if they're able to, group up on point and use that, I think that Utah has a really solid chance of getting it. They get a huge pick on Bouncy Bear. Mr. Goodman, once again, he got it out. But once again, they get two other huge picks. They get the Orisa and the Junkrat.
Yeah, this is University of Utah's fight to lose. Looks like they're just going to clean it up. Let's hopefully get some more ulti charge for the next push on the second point. Yeah, that was a very good push by University of Utah. As you can see, they used their ulti economy to secure those picks that they needed, especially in that Lucio. That Lucio pick was, it didn't seem too big, but they had to blow that Mercy res on it.
Yeah, the Mercy res was honestly the bigger usage. Like, killing the Lucio was good, but forcing Mercy to use that ult early was really just kind of slowed down UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it looks like Winston's going to be trapped. If they're going to commit on this kill, that's going to be huge. They're going to have to beat the blow res on it or going to not do this fight. Winston's a huge part of this push.
We do see CX Dave use that res, and he's 40% away from Valkyrie, so that's a pretty big cooldown for Utah to have down. But it looks like Utah's able to get a few picks off of UC Santa Barbara, really slow down their push. We see the Transcendence coming out from Kian, and right in the back we've got Daddy J against the Soldier. He kills himself!
Wow,
oh, that's huge
that
misplay.
Definitely misplay there.
But Flame Turtle popping off, getting 3 kills during that fight. Even though Daddy J did make a misplay, he still annoyed their chief damage dealer since Jalax was killed early on in the fight, and that allowed Utah to clean it up. Tac Visor does come out. Diva just going to be a huge, big annoyance.
Can't finish off the kill. There we go.
I think that was a waste from Bouncy Bear to use that Tac Visor. 4 of his teammates were already dead. It just kind of seemed pretty silly, honestly.
Yeah, and you see that they are switching off to that comp to stall out the time. They want to make sure they know that they lost this fight, but they just want to stall out as much time. That's a 2 CP strat. They switched to that May. Looks like University of Utah should be getting this any minute now. And yep, there's May just doing that May thing.
Just being May. We do see Jalax is going to use his Rip Tires coming out, just hoping to get any big major kills.
There we go.
And that's University of Utah's point.
Wow, this is a very close matchup. I think it was very impressive that University of Utah was able to get that in more time than UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, they had almost 4 minutes left on the clock by the time they finished, and UC Santa Barbara I think was at 3:18. So that's 40 seconds is a huge advantage.
Yeah,
in 2CP.
Yeah, I really think it shows.
That's one entire push.
It really shows how both these teams' play style events out. It looks like their Orisa. It seems like Orisa seems like a very kind of defensive pick, sit behind the shield. But as you can see, both of these teams getting those very high times, which is very odd.
Yeah, I honestly would have expected more of like an overtime kind of like fight to the last man team fights going on during this match. But once again, we'll see them swap sides. with the time bank. I'm not exactly sure
Yeah,
who swaps.
yeah. So University of Utah is going to have their time limit, which is going to be 3 minutes and 56 seconds, and UC Santa Barbara is going to have 3 minutes and 18 seconds. And how this is going to work is they're going to be doing the same exact thing, doing first point and then second point, but instead of having, say, 6 minutes, they're going to have their allotted time that they scored in the first round.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, UC Santa Barbara has less time, and that's why they're going to be attacking first. And we'll see Utah doing the same defense. You know, they're going to have the single support, CX Dave. They're going to have Kian on Soldier, just pumping out some more reliable DPS. And then they've got Flame Turtle and Tetrum on the Orisa Torb.
Yeah, let's see if Santa Barbara can pull out that same strategy where you do a couple junk pushes, build up that ulti economy where you can just pour it right onto that, usually that molten core turret.
Looks like they're going over to the right.
Yeah, this is definitely the correct move. You definitely don't want to mess around by just brute forcing into it. You need to do some sneaky strategies, and as you see, they are getting onto the high ground.
Jalax gets picked early, forcing that Mercy res to come up, and Daddy J also gets picked. Yeah. They're going to have to res that as well, so the teams are going to be pretty even. I don't know if they can get over to Daddy J, though. I think Utah's just going to be down a player.
Yeah, they are running that Reinhardt as opposed to that Orisa. And yeah, those traps by Junkrat are really just messing with Daddy J. It's really hard to see those little traps, but if you get trapped, you are dead.
Yeah, Tracer can't blink out or recall from it, so she's just going to be a free kill for UC Santa Barbara. And we see UC Santa Barbara's trying to make an attack on the turret. Flame Turtle getting CX Dave gets taken out. That's going to be a huge kill, but then Utah turns it right around, and Flame Turtle.
Yeah, even Max out of mech. This is going to be a very close fight, but they're not dealing with Kian. This soldier here is just putting in work. Look at him. He just pulled out a 3K. I don't even think he had any defensive heroes to help him out.
And he did it all without using his tac visor. Flame Turtle, we saw he used his molten core. That definitely got the first 2 kills that they needed. So then everybody turned, looked at the Torbjorn, and Kian was able to just get free kills on the back line.
Yeah, it's like times like these, you know, you kind of wonder why they're putting them on him on Lucio. Both of these matches on this map, he's been pulling out. His ability to get kills when is needed is incredible.
Yeah, he's definitely a clutch player. Pandomig is able to take out the turret, actually. That's going to be a big issue for Utah as they're trying to get that turret set back up so that they can get a solid defense. Once again, Kian getting a great pick onto Jalax, who's probably going to be giving the most damage out for Santa Barbara. Comes out with the tac visor. He's able to kill the Mercy.
Yeah, that was very big, especially because that was the Valkyrie. Valkyrie takes about a minute or 2 to get it up, and I don't know if they're going to get that Valkyrie in time for another push.
Yeah, you're right. That was a huge pick because it was during the Mercy Valkyrie. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, unbelievable. I really think if there's an MVP right now, it's definitely not including the Torb turret because I mean, come on, it's Torb turret, but it is Kian. He has gotten multiple kills both of these fights. He is our pinch player right now.
He's definitely making some clutch plays on high value targets.
Yeah.
And looks like so Tetrum has got his damage boost up. We're going to see that Flame Turtle is going to get his molten core up soon. Honestly, yeah, this is looking pretty dire for UC Santa Barbara. Dog also has his ult. All they have is Bouncy Bears on Tracer, her Pulse Bomb, and then it looks like their Diva's going to get their ult, but they're nowhere near any other ults.
Yeah.
Utah, huge ult advantage, 4 ult advantage. We see Daddy J throw out that Pulse Bomb and misses.
If they can get that Mercy. If they get that Mercy, that's going to be huge. Oh, the double bomb. Wow, this is a nightmare for University of Utah. They had such an ulti advantage. Let's see if they can pull out.
Daddy J did finally take down that Mercy. Kian able to kill Jalax.
There we go.
Dog gets the other Diva out of mech, and here we see Utah cleaning up. That was really scrappy in the beginning. But we see Utah was really able to rally and get the targets that they needed. It all started with that Mercy pick.
I really think that what University of California Santa Barbara did was they just tried using all their ultis just to break through and try to get those early picks because they know that we had full ulti. We had Molten Core, we had Pulse Bomb, we had Diva Bomb, and I think we had one more ulti. And it's impossible to get that fight without just getting a couple of cheap picks right in the beginning.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, UC Santa Barbara really had to use their ults to even get in. And then once they were in, Utah was like, well, we have 4 ults, so...
Yeah, and we have Kian, so Kian is like, he's
the hidden ultimate.
Yeah, and so now we just have to see University of Utah. All they have to do, I do believe that University of California Santa Barbara did not get any ticks. So that means that University of Utah just need to get 1 tick and they will secure this first map.
Yeah, so going back into the game, we'll see that Utah, like you were talking about, is definitely on the offense. And we'll see what kind of strat they're running. It looks like they're going to be running the same thing they were running before, the dive with the static supports.
Yes. This is a very powerful strategy. We have been practicing a lot more. At University of Utah in the beginning of the season, we were known for our Pharah Mercy strategy, but eventually all the teams were catching on, especially because we were playing those higher caliber teams. They were catching on and they were running those hit
I would
scans.
like to point out that Calfarts and Hops didn't pick their heroes until at 10 seconds, so they're actually going to be trying to run to the point to even set up.
Yeah,
interesting that it took them so long. They opted for the double shield. The pirate ship without the ship.
Yeah, I think it says a lot. I think University of California, Santa Barbara, they were kind of contemplating giving a almost like a cheap strategy, a little bit of a quick pick on Flame Turtle, but we see that res coming out. You know, new Mercy, love it or hate it, but that's what you're gonna see.
But that's definitely a big cooldown that UC Santa Barbara got from Utah. It's
that's huge. I think he got booped. Did he get booped off?
Oh
wow, Hobbs getting a huge. He just killed the mech immediately. Wow, this is a nightmare for University of Utah, but
they're just going to have to pull out. Yeah, they've got 3 minutes. You know, that and it really all started with that early pick on Flame Turtle, forcing TNT, or CX Dave to use that res.
Yeah, we see Kian, he is on the Zenyatta, but look, he's still getting picks. It looks like now Mercy's cooldown is going to be on a 30-second cooldown on that res. Let's see if University of Utah will capitalize on that, knowing that the res is going to be on cooldown.
Yeah, so I really want to see Utah once again take that high ground like we see Flame Turtle doing, and then Dog and Tetrum, it just seemed like they were just a little bit off on their timing.
Yeah, let's see if Dog and Tetrum will organize their dive. If they dive right onto that backline over there, I think it'll be University of Utah's fight if they do it correctly.
We see Daddy J annoying Jalaxed over there, really trying to force him to hide in that corner. He's going to use that Rip Tire. And he is able to take out Tetrum. I don't expect that res to come out because it's way too far in the other team. You know, Junkrat just throwing out all those mines that he has. And Daddy J with a huge pulse bomb and forces Mr. Goodham to use the Valkyrie to get that double res off. That's honestly a really big cooldown. Utah had lost that fight, and Daddy J with the exit pulse bomb really forced a huge cooldown out of Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that's exactly what University of Utah needed. They know that pulse bomb is going to be on such a lower, almost like a cooldown than that Valkyrie. And now they have University of Utah is going to have their Valkyrie, but University of California, Santa Barbara is not going to have that Valkyrie. And Valkyrie is one of the best ultimates in the game right now. So
definitely, you know, Mercy just becomes a spectator camera.
Wow, huge pick. No res for the side of UC Santa Barbara.
And once again, especially without that Valkyrie, that's 30 seconds. Utah pretty much has 8 players because Dave has his Valkyrie, which allows him to get that double res. Utah's really just going to be way more aggressive, push themselves in, try and get this point. Remember, they only need a third. We see the Transcendence coming out from UC Santa Barbara. They're stuck on the point behind the Ariso shield, just really trying to
protect that Zenyatta. That was a really close call. If they got that Zenyatta, they don't have a res. Looks like the University of Utah is finally going to pop
coming in with their Transcendence.
Let's see what's going to be happening now. We see Flame Turtle picking off the Mercy. Mercy on the University of Utah side is going to get a res, and we are cleaning up. Orisa's ulti is going to go down with a Diva Bomb popping out, not killing anyone, and it's going to kill the Orisa almost on a delay right there. And Tetrum's going to ulti, and they're just going to be wiping it. And it looks like it's going to be University of Utah.
That was a really, honestly, it was really, really slow, and then all of a sudden just everything happened at once.
Yeah.
We really just kind of saw Utah just really take advantage of the fact that they kept slowly pushing UCSB farther and farther back until they were just their backs to the wall on the point. And then that was really where Utah wanted them, because then they had free reign over the rest of the map and could just force themselves to win the fight.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to that ultimate economy. At this high caliber level of play, it's not about mechanical skills. All these people are at the top. They all know how to shoot their targets, and they can get those headshots. But it's about the teamwork now. It's about coordinating with your teammates to make sure you have those ultimate abilities.
And also understanding what the other team has. It's easier to coordinate with your own team, but being able to call out, Mercy just used res and she had Valkyrie last fight, so she's not going to have it now. That's when you know you have the advantage and when you can really push forward.
Yeah, I think the biggest plays that we saw coming out from the University of Utah side was that the Pulse Bomb was able to get that Valkyrie. If the Mercy didn't pop that Valkyrie, those players would have had to run back from spawn. And the spawn to point for defense is going to be a longer distance than the spawn for attackers.
Definitely. Yeah, that exit Pulse Bomb was really just a huge game changer. It allowed, even though they didn't win the fight immediately after that, it allowed Utah to get a really solid foothold on the attack.
Definitely. And I'm not going to be bashing University of California, Santa Barbara, but they were playing very well. They had a very dominant lead in the beginning of the game. They had about a 3-minute pool of time to deal with. You usually don't see it at these high-level games.
Yeah.
And it looks like the next map is going to be Nepal.
Yeah, so coming out into Nepal, that's going to be, honestly, I think I'm expecting a bloodbath.
Yeah, Nepal, the only LOS you could have on Nepal is that center
Definitely.
beam right there. But it should be interesting maybe seeing University of Utah pulling out that Pharah eventually. We are known for that Pharah pick, but we haven't been playing it any of today. I really think we only maybe played it once.
Yeah, in the game against UT Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they're going to pull out Junkrat, because, especially on Sanctum, Junkrat is such a powerful pick.
Yeah, Junkrat.
I mean, Junkrat was powerful on Sanctum before they gave him the double mind buff, so...
Yeah, I really don't know what Blizzard was thinking about that, but...
No flame.
yeah, no flame, but yeah, definitely Junkrat... If Junkrat isn't picked by one team, you're going to see it picked by the other team.
Definitely. He's going to be in almost every game.
Yeah, if you're not picking Junkrat, you really have to have some good reason why you're not doing that.
So on Village... what do you really expect from Utah? You scrim with them because you are a sub on the team. So how do you guys prepare for Nepal in general, and then especially on Village? Because I'm just gonna guess that Village is gonna be first.
Yeah. So Village, the main thing on Village is on that first point. You want to make sure you're splitting on both sides of the point because there's those huge 2 doors. If you're all going on one door, if you have a Reinhardt blocking that shield, that choke, you're not going to get through. So you really need to split up your team, 3 and 3, and get it on both sides. And yeah, we do have Village coming up right now.
I am excellent at reading the future.
Yes. I don't know. Another Blizzard bug, I guess. But, yeah. And it's going to be a very interesting game to see because if University of Utah has perfected their game and they can capitalize on high ground on Village, and they can also make sure they're splitting their attack on that center point, it's going to be University of Utah's game. But I don't know too much about University of California, Santa Barbara, but
looks like they got an early pick on UC Santa Barbara's Mercy, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be the University of Utah's fight to lose. It's going to be their first point, and first point's huge on these capture the point maps. It's not only are you getting those initial ticks and the other team's playing man down, they're kind of getting pressured. They also have the ulti economy. And
definitely. If you win first fight, then you almost certainly have ult advantage, unless it was the scrappiest fight you've ever seen. Mr. Goodham having to use that Mercy res really early and then gets taken out by Flame Turtle. Jalak's able to get out Kian, and CX Dave is going to use that res on Kian. It looks like Daddy J and Dog and Kian all fragging out and getting some pretty great kills.
Yeah, poor Tetchum. They're focusing Tetchum really hard, but I think that's the good thing. Tetchum is really taking it for the team because they aren't dealing with this Tracer, and they're not dealing with this Pharah, and they're not dealing with this D.Va. I'm not sure what the University of California Santa Barbara is going to do at this point.
Yeah, Tetchum honestly just did an excellent job at forcing the team to look at him, and he stayed alive for so long. We saw Utah get 3 kills before Tetchum was taken out.
Yeah, and the only reason that Tetchum was taken out is because he got unlucky, walked into a Junkrat trap. And we do see the Junkrat coming out from UC Santa Barbara, but in my opinion, what's Junkrat going to do to a Pharah?
Yeah. Definitely. I think Pharah definitely has the advantage here. And looks like Pharah, we see that Rocket Barrage come out. Lots of justice. Oh, kills himself though. A little unfortunate, but he was able to get pretty much a full team wipe. That's fine. They'll just pick the res up and allow Flame Turtle to get a little bit more of ult charge.
Yeah.
And Dave has his Valkyrie, so using that res right there wasn't the end of the world, especially because it's going to take so long for UC Santa Barbara to come back to this point.
This is University of Utah's game. They are perfecting their game. They have, look at this, they have almost 5 ultimate abilities. They only used 1, and they capitalized on it. They got all of those kills on one ulti.
And we definitely saw that UC Santa Barbara, most of their players haven't even gotten 1 ulti yet, and University of Utah is working on their 2nd round of ults.
Yes, I think that even though that Flame Turtle killed himself, it's something that you actually do see a lot. It is a suicide barrage. Yeah. And it looks like Winston's going to get picked off as well as Kian, but we're probably going to see a double res coming out from the University of Utah side. Looks like Beat is dropped on the University
Valkyrie also used by UC Santa Barbara and the Beat. That's both those support ults used in this one fight. and they're still really struggling. But they have to throw everything into this fight because it's overtime.
Yeah, Tetram still has his ulti. This is going to be University of Utah's fight to lose, but we see Daddy J getting unluckily picked off by the Diva Bomb, and Kian's going down for the second time. It looks like University of Santa Barbara might get this point if Diva's going to go down here. I mean, Mercy. Yeah, looks like University of California Santa Barbara is going to get that point.
Honestly, that was an incredible effort from UC Santa Barbara.
Wow.
University of Utah had 5 ults coming into that fight, and we saw UC Santa Barbara use both their support ults at the same time. Usually that spells instant loss for your fight if you don't stagger your support ults correctly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what really happened on the University of Utah side. Probably a little bit of miscommunication and focusing, but I think it really showcases how good UC Santa Barbara is. They really showed how they are able to manage these ultis, and it looks like Daddy J is going to get that Junkrat mine. And it looks like they're going to be fighting right on the point here. Oh, Flame Turtle getting that Mercy pick.
What
That's
a
huge.
pick.
Huge.
Flame Turtle gets taken out himself, but he's just going to get res right back up from CX Dave. Bouncy Bear and Hops. Hops is just really popping off, getting 3 kills right there. And honestly, that was an incredible turnaround.
They're struggling to kill this Lucio. Gets staggering himself a little bit there, but I think the MVPs right now in this game right now is Bouncy Bear and Hops. Hops on that Diva, and Bouncy Bear, as you saw, maybe you didn't notice, but in the back of that fight, he was able to kill Tracer in 2 hits without a stun grenade, which is
that's huge. Because he's able to use it for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, this is going to come out to a close game here. It looks like University of California Santa Barbara has the point and ulti advantage. I'm really hoping that to do with Junk.
Jalax gets picked off early. Mr. Goodham having to use Valkyrie to get that res on Jalax. That's a pretty early Valkyrie to see, but Bouncy Bear able to get that kill on Kian. Daddy J able to turn it around, kill Bouncy Bear, but CX Dave goes down. Utah doesn't have their Mercy, and Jalax is just cleaning up. Mercy actually kills Tracer.
This might be okay. I believe that the University of Utah was going for that junk push because they got they got the Falc out and they got the beat out. And if you look, they did not use any of their ultis. They have Tetram's ult. They have almost all 6 of their ultis. And,
but can they get back to the point on time? It looks like Daddy J was able to get back to the point on time. Tetram comes out with his ultimate, Primal Rage. Just gonna try and stay on the point. Flame Turtle gets a big pick. And also, Jalax goes down. Mr. Goodham forced to res him, but he doesn't have Valkyrie. That was the only res he got.
Yeah, as you can see, it just all comes down to ultis in this game. And Flame Turtle still has its ulti. He's probably going to pop it right now. There he goes. And, yeah, University of Utah gets that first point.
That was an incredible, that was really dangerous for them, honestly, because they had to do a dry push because they knew they weren't going to win the fight. They did a dry push, but they did that dry push at 83%. That's so scary to know if you're going to make it back to the point for overtime.
Yeah, I really think that the University of Utah are they're at the top of the game right now. They're getting their ultis, they're organizing them, they're making sure they're not blowing them in useless fights. University of Utah is looking really good in these national playoffs. I'm very excited to see how far we could go. Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely pretty insane. Like, they're doing this well against, like you said, another very good Western team, and I think most people can agree that the West is probably the most stacked region. Not to say that there aren't good teams from every other region, but when you're thrown into this gauntlet, you kind of, forged by fire.
Yeah, and we see that Flame Turtle is going to go onto the Junkrat, of course, because Farah on this point is going to be awful. There's no places to hide. And it looks like they're just going to be, scrapping it out over on the right side of this point, trying to get a pick. I mean, Reinhardt's shield is getting pretty low. If they can get that Reinhardt shield down, they will be able to advance a little bit farther and be pressuring them more and maybe get a pick. We see Daddy J trying to poke those backlines there. Let's see if he can, farm a pulse bomb really early for this first point. It looks like he's going to get a lot of headshots on that Reinhardt there, but Dog is going to be getting a little low. Dog is almost going to lose his mech.
Bouncy Bear almost dead. And same with the Junkrat. Honestly, Daddy J doing a great job of forcing both of UC Santa Barbara's DPS to turn around and look at him. And then meanwhile, the rest of University of Utah is getting some picks on UC Santa Barbara. And we see both of Mercy reses are down, but Utah just has a huge cleanup. Dog with 5 kills right there at the end.
Dog MVP of that fight, they were just not, I think it was a combination between Daddy, Tetram, and Dog. I mean, obviously the healings are on point, but Daddy was just in the back there, poking them in the back line, creating chaos, while Tetram and Dog were just organizing their dives, and they were able to pick off those squishy heroes like Bouncy Bear and Jalax.
Definitely. That was honestly an incredible effort from Utah. We see Utah has 4 ultimates, and meanwhile UC Santa Barbara has 3, and they're not really close to other ones. So we'll see how the rest of this fight goes. Both of the Valkyries are up. We see Santa Barbara start they use their Riptire. They're gonna enter with the Riptire versus Riptire. But Bouncy Bear also gets a kill on Daddy J. That's gonna be a huge pick for them because there's no way that CX Dave is gonna be able to get back there to res him.
Yeah, Tetcham's gonna be doing this, big ol', thing. He's just gonna be making sure those backlines are getting chaotic, and it looks like it's gonna be a scrappy fight here. CX Dave gonna be resing up Flame Turtle here. That means University of Utah are not gonna have a res for this fight. It's gonna be a close fight here. Flame Turtle's gonna be almost get picked off. It looks like Hops is gonna get key in there, but with the Diva Bomb, not gonna kill anyone. It's going to be an even fight, but we see Daddy J almost with that pulse bomb. Let's see if he's going to pull it off, and key with a beat drop.
Flame Turtle with 2 huge picks. He's able to kill both the Junkrat and the Lucio.
Oh,
Dog just barely able to save himself. Tetchum getting 2 other huge picks, able to kill that Mercy. And then Hobbs has to jump off the cliff so that they can all not be staggered.
I don't know what they were saying, and I can't imagine what UC Santa Barbara is saying to themselves there. They should have got that Diva mech pick, and that would have been huge. Yeah. And then Hobbs, of course, had to jump off.
In the middle of the fight, Dog was able to get his mech back. That's honestly, you never really see that in these types of fights. Once the Diva gets out of mech, everybody's like, kill the baby Diva.
Daddy J getting picked up. Roadhog is going to be, come on, Roadhog is almost a huge counter for Daddy J here. Flame Turtle's going to get a double pick again. It looks like Hops is going to be really doing nothing with his backline. Let's see if he gets his
There's
ulti
no Mercy Valkyries for this fight, so this is just going to be a really close fight. And remember, UC Santa Barbara just had to use their res. Meanwhile, CX Dave has, but Jalax with huge Riptire right there and able to finish off Dog. Kills Kian as well. Trying to take down Daddy J at the back. He's going to get his own Riptire out, run it straight to the point. Flame Turtle is able to pick up the Lucio, and Bouncy Bear is able to kill Flame Turtle while he was ulting.
Yeah, they're just not dealing with this Junkrat. I really don't think that Roadhog is going to be the pick here. I'm not sure why they picked Roadhog. Maybe they were thinking they could get some hooks off the map, but there we go. University of Utah.
I think the Roadhog pick was because, honestly, Daddy J was doing an excellent job of being annoying. And when you're Tracer and when you're a support on UC Santa Barbara and this Tracer is just constantly annoying you, you just need something to deal with it. You can't always be asking the whole team hey, help me with this Tracer.
We see Dog21, a little bit of BM in the chat there, but who could blame them? University of Utah, they are the team to look out for. We were the underdogs in the beginning of this year. We lost to UC. We lost to San Diego, which we definitely should have not. Yeah, I think the team morale. I think I heard them clapping.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good year. We are in the national playoffs, and we are what
10-2
10-2 now.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Honestly, if they do well next week is going to be pretty hard because they're going to be going up against other 10-2 teams, but they're already secured a really decent spot as a seed. Moving forward into the final tournament.
Yeah, this is definitely a great day for Utah. We swept in Hearthstone. We did not drop a single map in Overwatch. Yesterday, both the boys and the girls basketball teams won. We have the football game tonight.
Hopefully this is a good omen for all of our sports this week.
Yeah, University of Utah is they're on fire right now. If they're able to beat Washington today, I think every single Ute should be proud.
Yeah, I think, honestly, just overall really great week. So, once again, we'll be back next week for the second round of the Swiss playoffs.
I do believe that actually tomorrow might be a little bit more games, but I just don't think we're going to be streaming them.
Yeah. So, honestly, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been Utah Esports Overwatch at the Einar Nielsen Fieldhouse, which is where our esports arena is. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good night, and go Utes.